direct hit. A colossal tornado going almost 200 miles an hour rips through Missouri.
Oh gosh, that is a monster tornado.
Plunging one town into a terrifying nightmare. And when the light returns, scenes of breathtaking destruction. An American tragedy. Hundreds are injured and more than 100 are dead, including at a hospital, a Home Depot, and a Walmart. Tonight, at least 17 have been found alive. Others are still believed to be trapped. And more to come as rescuers race to locate survivors with the skies still in turmoil. Meteorologists warn of more tornadoes to come across the country. We talked to the deputy director of FEMA about what to do in case the worst strikes. A special edition of Nightline begins right now.
From the global resources of ABC News with Cynthia McFadden and Bill Weir in New York City and Terry Moran in Joplin, Missouri, this is Nightline, May 23rd, 2011.
To give you an idea of the path and the power of this tornado, take a look at what it did to a massive chunk of the roof of this Walmart. Just lifted it completely off. But then look at the incredible swath that it cut, some 3 to 4 miles in the tattered distance. That tiny little building is, in fact, the 7-story St. John's Hospital. Destroyed cars line the streets, roofs torn from homes and buildings, leading to a Facebook page created for people looking for information about lost loved ones. Governor Nixon urged people to focus on saving those who were possibly still trapped in that debris.
I want to focus on the fact that we believe that there are still rescues out there, and we want to support the men and women that are on the ground out there literally going foot by foot searching for folks.
Doug Westhoff's team, Missouri Task Force 1, is the team in charge of these efforts.
Just a whopper of a twister here. This is just incredible damage.
He's worked search and rescue for over 3 decades. He's seen September 11th and Hurricane Katrina.
It's Mother Nature. We don't control it. We just react to it and do the best we can with it.
Doug and his team of 80, many of whom are volunteers, spent most of the day scouring stores like this Walmart for survivors. We were able to get inside and saw the scope of the damage for ourselves. This section of this massive chain store had its roof torn off as the twister made its way through. As you can see, also reducing its outer wall to mere pieces of rubble. Inside right now, the search and rescue workers are making their way aisle by aisle on the off chance that anyone is still trapped in here alive. When we met them, search and rescue worker Erin Venable and her dog Pick had been on the job for roughly 20 hours. We're about 18 hours in. How much longer will your team be at it?
You know, we'll be at it until they tell us they don't need us anymore and until every single person is accounted for.
Just across the street at the Home Depot, rescue workers did find 8 people. 7 were alive. The 1 was killed by the storm. And they aren't done searching.
You were over on that far side. Can we slide inside and do some more sections here?
Gary England believes his brother is still inside. He found his truck in the parking lot.
We haven't found him yet, but we'll keep looking or we'll be out here till we find him.
But Dave Westhoff captured the essence of this close-knit town the best.
You know, we are Missourians, and we take care of our own. And this is a strike in our, as you say, in our own backyard. And our hearts say, get down here and do what we can to help the folks of this part of the state. And we pull together as a group and do the best we can for them.
Josh, you've been out in it all day, and the devastation in this weather with the first responders, search and rescue. What did you see? What was that like?
A relentless sense of perspective. Every time you wait to become inured to what you're seeing, you look down another city block and you find yourself thinking, oh my God, look at that. And it's like that over and over and over again. We were out with the first responders and the search and rescue teams. And if you feel yourself lagging, if you think to yourself, wow, it's been a long day for me, you look at them. They started before we did. They'll be working through these horrific conditions all night, well into tomorrow. They're going to work until they drop. We heard often today that everybody who really responded, a lot of them were Missourians, and that they really have a sense that this happened in their backyard and they're here to do whatever they can. But if you were at Ground Zero or at Hurricane Katrina, if you saw pictures of Banda Aceh, that's what we're talking about here. It is a staggering thing, and we arrived in the darkness, and when day broke today, it took your breath away.
And took the breath away of some of those first responders who are veterans of Tornado Alley, who've seen a lot of devastation.
We talked to some who'd been on the job for well over 3 decades and said that this is as bad as they've ever seen it. And they were speaking in euphemism, perhaps trying to take some of the sting out of it. We asked them, how do you compartmentalize it? How do you process it? How do you deal with the grisly discoveries that you make perhaps hour by hour as they work house to house to house? And they struggled, especially considering that these are their brothers and sisters.